Ladies, and only the ladies, uh, I just want to talk about something, if that's okay. I've been in a talking mood. Did another video this morning talking. And so we're going to talk. And this is for my people. My people! And the reason why this is for my people, is because they deserve a little bit of something special, something. But we're just going to talk. I have some things, Arsenio Hall used to say the things that make you go. Well, I have some things that I want to talk about that have made me go, how come nobody else is seeing this? Now, of course, people have talked about it, but they haven't talked about it. We have. Now, I want to talk about just the Afro people. Whitney Houston said she died of an overdose, that she drowned in her bathtub. Whitney Houston's daughter. I know what some of y'all, I know, but we ain't talking about that right now. Then we have Luther Vandross. Hold on now. Then we have Heavy D. Now, we ain't going to go all the way back to the 90s. We're going to stick here in the 2000s. Then we have that Michael character. Then we have Prince. Then we have, now, we're getting to this one right here. DMX. Rough Riders! Okay, DMX. Where my dogs at? You know what I'm saying? DMX. Now, why am I bringing up all of these names? Well, they're all dead within the last 20 years. They're all gone. Why is that? Everybody died of a drug overdose. Not DMX. Whitney Houston. Michael Jackson. Drug overdose. Yes, he did. They claim Prince died of a drug overdose. Luther didn't. Said he died as complications of the stroke that he had, which I don't believe. But who knows? I've known plenty of people who've had strokes and survived 20, 30 years after they've had a stroke. You're looking at one of them. 2028, well, 2029, because it was December. So 2029, it'll be 40 years. And that was a massive stroke. And I'm still here. Thank you, Morpheus. But I digress. Let's talk about something. I'm upset about DMX. I didn't know DMX. DMX was not my friend. I listened to some of his music, not all of it. He cursed too much for me. I didn't hate DMX. But, again, DMX. He went out of his way to help people. Everybody who knew him, even though they talk about this and that about DMX, all negative, everybody who knew him talked about how he went out of his way to help people. Anybody around him, he helped. Buying houses for people, that was DMX. Everybody who knew him for that. But DMX caught COVID. He caught COVID. It made the news. The next thing you know, he was dead. Okay, fine. People died of COVID, so they say. Now, I have to say so they say, because we have no proof. We just have their word. Let me see if I can explain this to you. Now, I'm talking from personal experience, because you're not allowed to talk about this stuff on video, so I'm going to tell you my personal experience. There ain't nobody talking about no advice. I'm going to talk about my experience, because it's reality. I caught it the first time. Didn't know, but I didn't have any energy. I couldn't move, could not move. I mean, it took me so long just to try to get up, the amount of energy it took. I was exhausted. I had to, because I was on vacation at the time, I had to tell a guy, hey, I need you to have them call medical. I can't move. And they wheelchaired me on over there. And I forgot what they did. They gave me some breathing treatment because I was also having problems breathing. You guys know I have some breathing issues, which is why catching COVID was horrible, because too many people were dying as a result of breathing complications. So that made me doubly susceptible. That's right, I said susceptible. Did you say sub? No, I said susceptible. Okay, just want to make sure. Well, you don't need to be making nothing. You need to just go ahead and just mind your business. That's what you need to start making. Your own business. Uh, Entrepreneur. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. 106.8. Able to get that on your radio station? That's almost off the dial. 106.8. Temperature for 3 straight days. Now, I want to show you how much I know that a lot of the people who they say died didn't have to die. 106.8. Guess what treatment they gave me? Absolutely nothing. I joke with you not. They did not provide any treatment. I joke with you not. Now, mind you, hold on now. I had antihistamines, vitamin C, and, pay attention, now I can't even think of the word. See, I lost my memory, short-term memory. But I had antibiotics. So antihistamines, vitamin C, and antibiotics. And I was taking those. When they saw I wasn't getting worse, my temperature wasn't going down, but I wasn't getting worse. Are you taking something? And the first thing I said to myself, before I answered their question, why are they asking me, am I taking something? They're not giving me something. So that must mean they're expecting me to get worse, and I'm not getting worse. So I said, I'm not taking anything. You guys are not giving me anything. So after that episode, I eventually told them what I did. So I caught it a second time. Temperature went up to 106.8. That seems to be my marker. Oh, no. Remember 106.8 causes a lot of damage. You usually suffer brain damage. Oh, you didn't suffer. Shut up. I apologize for that. 106.8. A lot of people tend to not have a very good time with that. 3 straight days of that temperature. But guess what? This time they took all of my vitamin C, all of my antihistamines, and all of my antibiotics. So this time I had to rely solely on Jehovah. The first time I could rely on Jehovah and those items. The second time I had to rely solely on him. And here I am. They didn't provide any treatment either of the 2 times because they were angry at me. And if I died of COVID, then, their hands are clean. But it didn't happen that way. Now, if I can survive 106.8 twice, it's documented. I ain't afraid of showing medical records. Do I have those? I do have those somewhere in here. I think they're in storage. It's about 300 pages worth of medical records. But here's the thing. 106.8 twice? No respirator? No, the second time, nothing. They didn't provide nothing, not even Tylenol. Because I wasn't in any pain. Just COVID. Here's the thing. Yeah, and I'm saying COVID. You heard what I said. Shut up. I know that too many things happened that shouldn't have happened. I know. I heard the stories. I'm not here to talk about those stories. I'm only here to talk about what I experienced. I don't care about what somebody else experienced. All I'm asking the question is, if my immune system is so compromised, and it is, muscular dystrophy, myasthenia gravis, so many other different things, chronic fatigue syndrome is the worst because, and the kidney damage and liver damage I already have as a result of that first operation, man, I should have been a goner. And, woohoo, I still here. Morpheus, stop that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand it. Now, since 2023, too many people have died. People are dying in their 50s, everyone. They keep talking about medical advancement, medical technology, and that we're living longer. We're not living longer. Look at how many people are dying in their 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. Go ahead. I'm surprised. We have medical advancements. Advancements for whom? Now, for those of y'all who are interested, Russia says that it has a vaccine, pay attention, for cancer. That's so general. And they're providing it to people for free, including Americans, for free. There's a vaccine for cancer? Well, hold on now. Cancer is a virus, not a disease? Hold on now. You don't pay attention. Vaccines are for viruses. Go ahead, do your research. They have a vaccine for cancer. Now, you do know that even if it's lung cancer, testicular cancer, breast cancer, brain cancer, all cancers, it's still cancer. So could there be one size fits all? No wonder Russia's having a lot of problems with all of these other countries. Now, I don't like Russia. Okay, like I said, they have made it illegal for a person to be a Jehovah's Witness in Russia and to practice their faith. So I don't like Russia. Can't stand it. And Putin and the other idiots, individuals, morons, stupid. Well, I can't actually call him an idiot because he sits in a relative position as ordained. So I can't really talk about him because that would be to talk about the one who allowed it. So let's not do that. Let's just say the fact that they're offering that vaccine for free. Many of you who have cancer, why not look into it? Just suggesting. I don't know what to do, how to do, where to go, when to go, but you can start doing your research. Okay? Getting back to those artists who are no longer here. You see how all of a sudden they're trying to make money off of Prince? All of a sudden, now they're trying to take his catalog and do this and do that. Yeah, okay. The only problem is most of his music, because of his style, a lot of the mainstream will not be interested in his music. Only the people who were his so-called admirers, appreciators. I don't want to say fan because fan comes from the word fanatic. And I'm not nobody's fanatic. So, all of those individuals would be interested in that catalog, but the rest of the world wouldn't. They said they did a documentary, and the documentary brings out some information that's negative about Prince, and his family said no. Ladies and gentlemen, I doubt very seriously if they're going to do a documentary on Prince and find a lot of negative stuff in his latter part of his life, because he was an open book. He didn't hide that from people. He talked, and he talked openly. You didn't see him watching his words. Earlier, yeah, he did some stuff, and he admitted that. The same thing with Whitney Houston. You see, the problem is, towards the end, before she was getting ready to pass, there were a couple of concerts she did, and she did not do a good job in singing whatsoever. It's like she didn't care. But did she overdose? I like I tell everybody, a drug addict, and if she was an addict, that's what they're trying to say, they know how much to take. They never go beyond their limit. That's why they're called addicts. Okay, it's a habit for them. And so they know what to do. They've been through it before. The people who don't know what they're doing, yeah, they'll overdose. So you have two people who overdose. The ones who don't know what they're doing and pay attention, and the ones who are trying to commit suicide. But they're saying that she did that in the bathtub and that she just went to sleep and nobody checked on her. And Ray J was there. I ain't going in all that. I ain't going in all that. Because I done heard the latest videos with Ray J, so I doubt very seriously if there was anything going on there. Okay, because, Ray J likes taking showers, not baths. Just kidding, Ray J. I'm sorry. Anyway, I've been thinking about this stuff because these artists, each of them had something unique that they were attempting to do in the background. I ain't gonna say nothing. One of them actually accomplished it. The other one was on the way to accomplishing it. This is an interesting world. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. We can prove that there is no money in the economy. Money does not exist. Your definition, your understanding of money is backwards and wrong. Doesn't matter what your answer is. There is no money in society. I don't care how you describe what you say money is, how you claim something is money. Pay attention, this is going to be hard for some of you to understand. There has never in the existence of mankind been anything known as money. I done lost a lot of you. Y'all eyes just glassed over. What you talking about? Your name ain't even Willis. Ladies and gentlemen, understand what money is. Go back and look at the United States Constitution. Look how careful they were when they stated what money was. No state shall coin anything but gold and silver coin as money. As money. As money. They're very specific when they said as money. That's a term. Not the money part. The as money is a term. They use that term on purpose. There's never been money in the United States. You hear them say lawful money. It's always a legal term associated with money. They always add a word in front of it. Adjective or verb. Why? Because there is no such thing as money. Money does not exist. Money has never existed. Money is a medium of exchange, something of value. Well, the only way it could have value if somebody placed value on it. Well, gold has no value. Gold is just a metal you mine out of the ground or out of rock. But it has no value. It's a natural substance. It's a chemical. Has no value. People attribute value to it, but it has no value. Silver has no value. As a matter of fact, you go and there's a section of the scriptures that literally speaks of the Persian army, the Medo-Persian Empire, treating silver as if it were nothing. They would not even accept it as a means of payment for anything. But we accept it now. Why? Because man determines what they claim to be is of value and what isn't of value. So, when you hear about the richest man in the world, what makes him the richest man? If a person had $256 billion, where are those dollars being kept? There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a $1 trillion company. But yet Apple, Amazon, and Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street are all claiming to be $1 trillion companies. Which is impossible because they're all your major corporations like Apple and Amazon and Google, each of those companies are owned by either Vanguard Group, BlackRock, or State Street. Do your research, people. They're controlling the value, what is and what is not currency. So until you guys start to understand that, you'll never understand taxes. Okay, stop arguing that you don't owe it. Just pay it. There are too many mechanisms in the law, not in YouTube videos, but in the law, that tells you how to pay your taxes without digging in your own pocket. Follow the law. All right, that's all I have to say. I was about to get ready to start doing some paperwork editing. Y'all, take care.